It's WDHA's Reconnect with Rockers, reconnecting with my brother, Chris from Blackstone. I feel like I'm coming over to give you a virtual hug, and then I hit
hug.
screen, and then I'm like, oh, WTF. Anyway, it's great to see your beautiful face. You look awesome. And man, I'm so excited that you guys have a new record out. The Human Condition is out on Friday. And
yeah, man.
we're getting a live stream show.
Yeah, so we went and filmed that show about a week and a half ago, and as you can hear, I'm still recovering from it. That's what happens when you don't do any shows for 8.5 months, and then you put a band like us that has one speed and one kind of let's see, what's the word I'm looking for here? We have one volume, right, and that is on 11. And we did that first show, and we filmed it. And as soon as we got done filming it, I'm like, oh, man. Like, I can feel it. I knew what was happening, but, it is what it is.
So it's the Live from the Sky live stream event.
Yeah.
We actually had you guys featured on our WDHA Free Music Monday. And what we did is we kind of teamed them up so people could get either the live stream code or the Human Condition code. And everybody was so excited. I told you actually before we got rolling, our listeners, our rockers here in Jersey are so resilient. They want to be a part of the process. That's why we created this feature, so everybody could still connect and they would be able to reconnect with you guys. I'm thinking of two people right off the bat. A lady named Chrissy, as soon as she got her code, all capitals, sends me the email, I got my code. And the gentleman was calling me all the time. So when are you going to announce the code, people? This was Frank. I think it was Frank Maz, if memory serves me right. When are you going to announce the code, people? So just so you guys know, because I think sometimes it's difficult if you're not seeing faces in front of you at that very moment all the time, to know what it means to people, to still have you guys as active, with them, even in a different way, as you've ever been. You've always been a band with that super loyal fan base, whether here in the States or whether overseas, which, I mean, Blackstone overseas, forget about it. You guys are the headliners for every giant festival. So what has it been like for you guys, a band of the fans, to sort of have a little bit of that just social media connection with the fans?
It's really weird, and it's, like we're that live band. We're that band that people want to go, like, people like to see us play our music live. And that's what we do. I mean, we've built our entire career on touring. But it's so weird now because you're sitting here and it's all still so unknown, and we don't have that anymore. And it's weird. Like, you wonder sometimes, like, are people going to eventually forget about us? Like, we've been inactive now on, as far as touring goes, for 9 months. I mean, there's never been a 9-month gap in Blackstone Cherry shows before, ever. So it's it's a weird time, but we're trying to do as much as we can. We got a couple drive-in kind of things coming up, and then we've got the live stream that we shot. But I mean, I hope people love the live stream. But for me, like, the ultimate goal was achieved already because I got to jam with Ben, John, Fred, and John again.
Yeah, I love to see you guys together. I was following you guys on social media, and I saw when you guys, who was it? Was it John Fred? Who was eating the banana? Somebody was eating John Fred was eating the banana, and you guys looked so excited that you guys were going to get to play again together, and just to see the looks on everybody's faces, in that video that you guys shot, and it's on your Facebook page and on your Instagram page. It was so cool.
So here's what's awesome about that. And I love that you said we looked like we were excited that we were going to get to play together. We had just finished filming the entire thing.
Oh, that's great.
When we did that video. And so that's how excited we were to be able to, like, be together and play music again. We had literally just finished that. And then we shot the quick the Facebook video.
Yeah, and I could see it. You guys literally were like, dare I say it sounds really corny, but you guys were like glowing. It was like that sort of, we get off stage, post-performance glow. So yeah, I'm really excited. That's going to be for me, my Friday night is going to be spending time
That's
with you
awesome.
guys, checking out the stream, man, because I love that. And I want to support our artists that way. I want to be able to check them out and see. And then this way we can let our listeners know sort of what kind of experience they're going to get. And we've done things with, whether it's Smith and Myers and Bush and Dirty Honey, Seven Dust. We were just a big part of the Seven Dust live stream. So, it's so important to make sure that we can get the music to people any way we can. Now, I want to talk about the record. It's funny because somebody said to me, because we've been playing again, and somebody said to me, do these guys ever
Thank you
make
so
a
much.
bad song? And I sort of thought to myself, and I was like, no, they don't. I never thought about it that way. But like, you guys have never really made like a song that sucks. Like, I think of you guys as the heavy sound. No,
now
maybe you haven't.
Maybe y'all just ain't heard the ones that suck.
No.
Maybe we just keep them in a pile somewhere.
It's the heavy sound, the super great melodic feel, and that comes from you, my brother. That comes from your voice, and very song-driven band. Blackstone Cherry, you just said, oh, we're the live performance band, but you guys have the best of both because a song-driven band. So talk to me about the evolution of songwriting and putting these songs together after, dare I say it, almost 20 years together.
Yeah, no, right? Look here, I'm getting old as hell. That's all it is to it. No, it's so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine on Instagram the other day, and her name's Sophie Burrell, and she's just incredible guitar player, right? And I was talking to her, and I was just saying, I just shot her a message. I was like, hey, I just wanted to say congrats on all your success. I'm super proud of you. I remember seeing you guys at Wembley when we played there, and she remembered the show because they came back and hung out with us. But she then proceeded to tell me the first time she saw us, she was 12 years old. And I'm like, oh, man, I feel so old right now.
But don't, because you guys are still in that sort of, new band kind of vein, that new music discovery vein, because it takes a long time, and you and Shinedown and a lot of these bands came up, kind of Hailstorm kind of came all up at the same time. And, it takes a long time to become an established band that can play Wembley and go out. And you guys can go out with anybody. You guys could be on a Slipknot bill, a Leonard Skinner bill,
It's funny. I was talking about that in an interview today. A guy asked me, he goes, how the hell do you all manage to play with everybody?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I said, I remember when we were like 2003 or 4, it was nothing to come home, like 2003, right? Come home from school and go to practice and get a phone call that, hey, the band that's on tour with, this happened. The band that's on tour with Superjoint Ritual and Zeke can't be at the show in Cincinnati. We need a band. And we're like, hell with it, let's go do it.
Yeah,
so that
absolutely.
The band that couldn't make it that night was Deicide.
Wow.
Can you imagine us filling in for Deicide? Dude, we got yelled at so bad. But
Is that true?
Funny because, oh yeah, people hated us. But it was like half the crowd hated us because they were expecting Deicide to like throw roadkill and trash cans and stuff. And then we walk up there, Ben's wearing a cowboy hat, and we look like we always do, blue jeans and T-shirts, And they're like, what's this Leonard Skinner looking and all this? And I'm like, dude, we just want to play some rock and roll for you, man. We ain't trying to hurt nobody.
Oh, man. And, and I love the guys in the band. You guys are a brotherhood. You and John Friend and Ben. No changed members, no, good times, bad times, hard times. What is it like, after all these years to still be together? I mean, it's a crazy question because I saw what it was like when you guys were on social media playing together. But it's such a beautiful thing that, the band is just so strong and intact.
I don't know, I mean, it's like, if anything, we're tighter now than we used to be, because we've all grown and we've grown as people, and all the little stuff that like all the little rib shots and stuff we used to take at each other, just to be an ass sometimes. Like, we still do it sometimes, but not as much as we used to, but I don't know. I just feel like, we've all grown, and instead of growing apart, we've grown tighter as people.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And the band is just so incredibly tight every time I've seen you guys. And
Thank
it
you.
doesn't matter who I've seen you guys with, whether you're on a, festival kind of thing with a bunch of different bands, or I think I saw you guys warm up for Sammy Hagar in the city,
Hmm.
like, it's at Radio City Music Hall, and you guys blew that crowd away. And that's an older crowd of people,
That
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 Sammy
that
crowd.
chicken foot tour was tough, man.
Yeah.
We because the thing is like, okay, so you got chicken foot. It's on the tour we did. It was Sammy, Michael Anthony, Joe Satriani, and Chad was there like one show, but he just popped in because he was out doing Chili Pepper stuff. So they had Kenny Arnoff playing
Yep.
drums. The first show's in Denver. I remember this as clear as day. First show's in Denver. We go out and do our show, and we're like, we come back and we're feeling great. We're like, oh my God, that was awesome. Yeah, yeah. We come off, we get a drink, come back, go in and watch Chickenfoot. They kick into the first song, and we all just hung our heads. We're like, we just had our ass handed to us, man. But what I loved about that tour is that crowd made you work for it. Like they
Yeah.
weren't just into it off the bat. Like you had to work for it and convince them that it was the real deal.
Yeah, that's right. And the Radio City show, I remember you guys came out and you guys were playing. And then when you guys went off, it was like everybody was on their feet. And I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, the boys have
it was
triumphed.
it was a really cool tour. But I honestly, there's a part of me that loves tours like that, where like the first two songs, people look at you like you've got three heads and they don't know whether to sit down or stand up or clap. And but if by the end of the show we can get everybody on their feet, then that's what we're supposed to do as an opening band on those gigs.
You guys have always been so humble too. And that's what's always made you guys such a great, lean, mean rock and roll machine. It doesn't matter whether you're playing to 100,000 people or, that's at Blackstone Cherries, band of the people. And, it's funny. I wanted to ask you too about the tune that opens up, because it does ringing in my head, opens up the collection,
Mm-hmm.
correct? And the
Yes,
people, your attention, please. I need to tell you about a new disease. What made you guys use that battle cry as the opening battle cry for this?
we wrote that 3.5 years ago. And
Crazy,
I know
crazy.
I know that sounds like the biggest pile of BS, but it's a true story. So when we were writing for Family Tree, we originally started writing a pretty heavy record. And about halfway through writing, we were like, the hell with this, man. Like we've made heavy records, we've done this. Let's make a different record. And we just stopped and started over again. And we did Family Tree. And we love that record. But like with the new record, we knew we wanted to go a little harder, and we knew some of those songs needed to be revisited. And we pulled that one out, and like the second verse, it was obvious needed to go, and the chorus needed the second half of it rewritten. But the first verse, people, your attention, please, and you tell all y'all about a new disease. The entire first verse, the entire first half of the chorus are what they were in 2017.
Hmm. And I had a feeling you were going to say that. And I'm like, let me just see when this was written, because I've
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of people that have been on this feature that have talked to me about music that they wrote. And it's so perfect for the times we're in now, and yet not written, in this time. Also wanted to talk to you, getting a little more serious now. You've always been a really open guy,
Mm-hmm.
about talking about depression and things that you've battled. And I think it's been so helpful, for people. This fall was very important for me. I was asked if I would be a spokesperson for the American Prevention for Suicide Prevention, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, if I would get the word out that, people are having a tough time. And I was so happy to do it. And I feel so fulfilled, to be able to do that, because I've had so many people
Mm-hmm.
reach out to me. So talk to me a little bit about, some of your struggles. And I think music, you talked about being such a big part of it. We're both big Bob Marley fans. I got
Mm-hmm.
my Marley hoodie on for the
That's what I'm talking about.
occasion today. So talk about, how you've kind of healed and moved past that, and why you thought it was important to speak out and let people know that you are just like them and have gone through struggles as well.
So for me, I'm a work in progress. Every day is a work in progress. I still have days I wake up where I don't want to do damn thing. But and some days I get motivated and I make myself do it. And then there's days that I have a lot of trouble. But for me, it's reminding myself and staying that it's a work in progress. And and staying on the forefront. Like if I start noticing I feel different, then I speak up. You know, I mention it to my doctor or whatever. But for me, essentially, it comes down to the fact that I never want anybody to feel my worst enemy. I wouldn't want them to get as low as I did at my lowest point. So if I can say something that rings through to somebody, and they go, "Damn, maybe I should just talk to somebody," you know, then okay, I'll take every negative vibe I get thrown at me for that, because it's fine by me. I don't mind. You know, I know who I am, and I know I am, and I know that, you know, I live with manic depression and severe anxiety, and because of those things, I see a doctor and I take prescription medication every morning when I wake up. But for me, I'm okay with that, because that's what allows me to wake up and see how beautiful the world can actually be, instead of waking up and dreading walking outside.
And I think, I've seen comments from people, and you've helped so many people. I don't even know if you realize how many people you've helped. But I've always just admired your honesty and your candor. And, you've always been you guys are a real band. You're a real
Well, thank you.
person. There's never been any pretension. We've had you guys at WDHA
Mhm.
playing in the studio, eating some barbecue, hanging
Yeah,
out with
man.
listeners, and just always
Talking
having
about dogs.
talking about dogs. You guys come in the little studio with me, always having a great time, filming a box of rock and different, stuff that we've done over the years. So I
But y'all
was,
have been one of the ones for the last 15 years, roughly, that have always been in Blackstone Cherry's corner. So those are the things that we hold on to, and we treasure dearly. So thank you all so much.
oh my gosh, and thank you. Our listeners love you guys. And I'm telling you, now at a time where we need it the most, I think that you guys have made the best record of your career. Dare I say it? Am I allowed to say that? Do I know enough
Now,
about you guys? But I do.
that's you know us as well as anybody, honey. I mean, for me, I feel the same way, and it's inherent. Every artist is going to feel that way about their newest product, but I truly do feel like this time that this is truly the best work we've ever done. That we gave it more attention. I don't know. I think people don't understand when they hear it while we're on such a high for people to hear this album.
And it's so good, and your voice is just, oh, it's just so darn good.
Mhm.
I'm so excited. Human Condition is out on Friday, and of course we want everybody to get the Live from the Sky live stream event. If you haven't done a live stream event, folks, there's so much fun, and you really do feel like you're a part of the music, and it fuels us until we can rock live again. blackstonecherry.com, by the way, if you want to get information on how to get in for the live stream. And Chris, I love you. I love you. I love you. It
I
was so
love you,
good to
honey.
see
Thank you
you.
so much.
And thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
All right, thanks for thinking of me.
And the dogs were pretty good. All right.
Yeah,
Good job,
mine
girls.
didn't go.
DHA's Reconnect with Rockers is powered by Advantage Contracting and by Karis Lock Company.